Good morning students, this is Joy Varghese from Uncovering Chemistry. Today in video 7, we are chapter 1, basic concept of chemistry. In this we are going to discuss about law of chemical combination. Now law of chemical combination was given by Antonio Lavoisier and Joseph Proust. Who gave this law? Antonio Lavoisier. Lavoisier and Joseph Proust, right? Antonio Lavoisier gave the law, what we call it as law of conservation of mass, and Joseph Proust gave the law, what we call it as law of definite proportion. Law of definite proportion. Understood? So these are the two laws. First what we are going to study. Next one another law is the law of multiple proportion, that we will discuss with an example. But first we will discuss about the law, that is law of chemical combination, given by whom? Antonio Lavoisier. Now what is that? Law of conservation of mass. Now this you must have studied in lower classes, that mass, this is the definition of law of conservation of mass. It can be stated as mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. I have written abbreviation for this reaction, but you have to write the full spelling of that, right? So, what we call it as Antonio Lavoisier gave the law of what we call it as conservation of mass. Mass can neither be created nor can be destroyed in a chemical reaction. Now, what is the meaning of that? We'll just see one example. If you take an example of water, H2 plus O2 gives you what? H2O, what we have seen, right? So suppose if you write here the mass, atomic mass of water, so I write here 2 into 1, here 2 into 16, and here you will see, if you balance it, it is 2H2, so here it will be like this, what we said. Understood? Then only it will be balanced. So this is the balance equation. So here 2 into, like this, what I will do here, 2 into 1 of hydrogen atomic mass. Same way you can see here 16 into 2, and here total, if you see the molecular mass of water, that is 2 into what we say 2 into 1 plus 1 into 16, that is of oxygen. So if you calculate this, you will get here 4 plus 32, and here 2 into 18, right, which is equal to 36, what we say, right? So 32 plus 4, right, and 36 means on the reactant side and on the product side there is no difference in mass. If you see here, the mass is here also 32 grams, what we say, and here also it is 32, means mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. That was given by whom? Antonio Lavoisier. Now when we talk about the part that is law of definite proportion, okay, just a minute. Okay. Now when we talk about this, the law of chemical combination given by Joseph Proust, law of definite proportion, that is what we can say, a given compound contains exactly what we call the same proportion of elements by weight. Now for this he took an example, what we say, example of copper carbonate, CuCO3. Understood? Now in that, in a natural sample, natural sample means from the earth crust what we get. Understood? And also from what we call it as a synthetic means man-made, synthetic sample. Natural sample and synthetic means man-made. Man-made. Clear? That is in laboratory, if you didn't understood. Laboratory. So, natural sample, they found that the copper, percentage of copper, percentage of what we call copper, percentage of carbon and percentage of oxygen. So, in natural sample, what we call the percentage of copper was 51.35, what we say. Same way for carbon, it was 9.74. And when we talk about oxygen, it was 38.91, what we say, percentage. Clear? So in the natural sample, these were the things what are given. Now suppose when we say, when it was synthesized in laboratory, so at that time also it was found the same, that is copper in laboratory which was made, copper carbonate, it contained 51.35% copper, 9.74% carbon and 38.91% oxygen. So what does it mean? A given compound contains exactly the same proportion of elements by weight. Like this, elements by weight, the proportion, that is the percentage is same, what we say. Understood? So these are the two laws what we have discussed, law of chemical combination and law of conservation of mass. Understood? Mass can neither be created nor can be destroyed. So these two definitions with the example you can write down in your fair book for your ready reference. Understood? Now the next law what is given in your textbook, that is law of multiple proportion, that we are going to discuss. Okay? Just a minute. Okay. Now the third law what we are going to discuss was given by John Dalton. Now what is that law called? It is a law of multiple proportion. What is it called? Law of multiple proportion. Now when we talk about what is the definition of this law? If two elements can combine to form more than one compound, means two elements. Here example, I will explain through example also. If two elements combine to form more than one compound, then the mass of one element that combined with the fixed mass of the other element are in the ratio of small whole number. Now this we will understand with an example what is given. Now see, suppose, just a minute. See, now the example when we say if two elements, now here the two elements, element 1, what we say, element 1 is, I will take it as hydrogen. Element 2 is oxygen. Now what is the word? If two elements can combine to form more than one compound, means you can combine hydrogen and oxygen and form two compounds. Which are the two compounds? One compound what we can say is water, that is H2O. Right? Another compound is H2O2. This is hydrogen peroxide. What is this? Hydrogen peroxide. Clear? This is water. So two elements combine to form more than two compounds. Okay. Then the mass of one element, that is mass of one element, that is hydrogen, combine, or mass of oxygen we can say. Oxygen here it is a mass, what we say. Combine with the fixed mass of another element. The fixed mass means here in this both case hydrogen is two atoms are there. Understood? So combine with the fixed mass of other element are in ratio of small whole number. Now if you count the molecular mass, which mass? Molecular mass of water, of H2O, we can say it is equal to 2 into 1 plus 16. That is, if you count total, it is equal to 18. 18 grams I will say, suppose. And if you find out the molecular mass of H2O2, H2 is equal to 2 into 1 plus 2 into 16. So if you count this, it will be equal to what we say it is 32. Understood? It will be equal to what? 32. Understood? But we will make it more simpler, what we say. How? I will just calculate about hydrogen and water and we will take the ratio of this. That is what? Now to understand that, this molecular mass topic will be, I think you must have studied in 10th standard. Clear? So this I will not take, I will take the simplest way. See, H2O, that is called what we call, H2 means 2 into 1 is to 16 of oxygen. Understood? Same way I will take this is 2 into 1 is to 32 it will be, because 2 into 16 it is given, 2 into 16 of oxygen. Understood? So now suppose if I take a ratio of water is to ratio of H2O2, it will be what? 2:16 upon 2:32, what we said, right? So which will be equal to 2 upon 16 into 32 upon 2, like this what we said. Understood? So if you see, you can cancel this. 2 ones are 2 ones are 16 ones and 16 2s are 32 what we said. Understood? So you will get a ratio that is 2 upon 1, or also we can say 2:1. Means what is the meaning? Now the definition will be clear. See, if two elements can combine to form more than one compound, so these are the two elements which combine to form water and hydrogen peroxide, then the mass of one element that combine with the fixed mass of the other element, see, that is, this is different and this is the fixed mass of another, then hydrogen fixed mass. This is different. Combined with other element are in ratio. So it is in ratio of a small whole number. This either you can write it as equal to 2 also. So either a whole number or a small ratio you get for this. Understood? In your book it is given inverse of this. That is, they have taken what H2O2 up and here water is taken. But this is also right. So this example you can write for law of multiple proportion. Okay? So we will be stopping this topic here. In your textbook, that is on page number, you can see Gay-Lussac law is given, Avogadro's law is given, then Dalton's atomic theory is there, right? Now this already we have studied in our previous topics. What is that? Is structure of matter. I have explained this part, so I will be not repeating in this video. You can see states of matter. States of matter, structure of atom, Dalton's postulates, all you have seen. So you can go through it from, it is given in your textbook. Now the next topic what we are going to discuss is about atomic mass and molecular mass. Understood? See, just a minute. Okay. Now when we talk about atomic mass, here the definition is given. Relative mass of an atom is obtained by comparing its mass with 1/12 of the mass of one carbon-12 isotope, what we say. Now, this one must have went above your head, what we say, but we can just understand it with an example. But you can write down this definition and you can write down this formula. That is, atomic mass is equal to mass of an atom upon 1/12 into mass of C12 atom. Now, why C12 atom is only taken? There are 3 isotopes of carbon, what we say. You can see it is given in your page, textbook page. There are 3 isotopes. One is this part you have to remember. Isotope. Clear? 1/12 like this. Okay. So there are total 3 isotopes, what we say. Which are there? C12 is there. C12, C13 and C14. Clear? But the maximum abundance, that is in the earth crust what we get, it is 90. This C12. C12 is 98.892% we get from earth crust, what we say. Understood? So we take this for comparison. Now why carbon is only taken? Actually, oxygen was taken first, what we say. Oxygen combines with many of the elements. If you have seen in the periodic table, there are many elements, 119 elements, what we say now at present. Clear? It may increase. So, after that, oxygen combined with many of the elements. So, first oxygen was taken for as a what we call this part, but afterward it was being changed. Why? Because with this, by taking or comparing it with C12, 1/12 part of the C12 atom, we got the perfectly nearly what we call the whole number. Atomic mass what we get, no? That nearer or the whole number what we get, right? So that's why this one C12 used. Understood? Now suppose we understand this with an example. Now why this is only taken? So we will take an example of your friend, suppose. Now in future, what we say, I'll just rub this part. In future, if you will not study well, or if you study well also, some of your friends must be having a business, friends or their relatives, whatever, they have a business of fruit selling. And you go to market to buy fruit from your friend. Now suppose the name of your friend is Raju. Clear? So Raju has weighing scale for weighing the, what we say, you must have seen two-sided pen is there. Like this, a weighing scale with two-sided pen. Understood or not? But he was selling oranges. What he was selling? He was selling orange. What he said? Orange. Orange fruit everyone know, and everyone like also. Nice orange he was selling. Now he wanted to sell orange, but he was not having standard weight. Now when we talk about standard weight, you must have seen 500 gram, 250 gram, 1 kilogram. Understood? So like that standard weights are there, 2 kilogram, 5 kilogram, like that weights we put in one pen, and then we compare it with the another one, like this used to do. But Raju was not having this standard weight, and if you are his friend, you went to buy oranges from him. Now suppose you will not rely on him, he will just take few oranges in his hand. Now this is 1 kg you take, like that you will not take. Understood? So you will say that measure it and give. But there was one nice thing in the shop of Raju. He was having a watermelon. What he was having? Which fruit? Watermelon he was having. Tarbuj, what we call in Gujarati. Understood? So that watermelon was of 12 kg. How much kg? 12 kg. Understood? That watermelon was of 12 kg, what we say. So what he did? He cutted that watermelon into how many pieces? 12 pieces. How many pieces? 12 pieces. Clear? So therefore, one piece will be equal to 1 kg. Understood? Because 12 kg watermelon was there. He divided into 12 pieces. So 1 kg will be equal to 1 piece. So what he did? He put that 1 piece of watermelon that was equal to 1 kg in one pen, and on the other side he measured the oranges and gave it to you. Now you are also happy, Raju is also happy, right? Why? Because he sell that fruit, what we call. Now he used this fruit for selling fruit. So the unit was fruit is, we call it as FMU, that is fruit mass unit. This unit it is called FMU, fruit mass unit. So same way you can also they have made their own unit, what we call fruit mass unit. So same way there is also unit for atomic mass, and that unit we call it as AMU. What we call it as AMU. Okay, I will drop this part, just a minute. See, now when we say here, what we say, that is the atomic mass unit. Just a minute. Okay, now in this case, when we say here, atomic mass unit AMU, when we say here, so it is defined as the one atomic mass unit is defined as a mass exactly equal to mass. Sorry, there is a problem in electricity. Okay, mass you can see here, that is here exactly equal to 1/12 the mass of one carbon 12 atom. Carbon 12 atom means the isotope what is given, right? Means 1/12 part of C12 atom. That mass is equal to 1 AMU. That mass is equal to 1 AMU. Now you can see here now how this was found out by spectroscopic technique. Understood? And X-ray diffraction techniques are there, through which this mass was found out of 1/12 part. 1/12 means C12 divided into 12 parts, and one part weight is equal to 1 AMU, what we call. Okay? Same way how we calculate the fruit mass unit, if you remember. Understood? So same way this is atomic mass unit, and this mass is taken as standard. That is 1/12 carbon 12 isotope, that is 1/12 part of carbon 12 atom. That weight is taken as a standard. How we are putting standard weight on the next side of the pen, this can be used as standard weight to calculate all atomic mass of different elements in the periodic table. Understood or not? So when we say hydrogen, we say atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. So that how much 1/12 part will be used? 1/112 part, right? Now when we say oxygen, oxygen atomic mass is 16. So how many 1/12 part must be kept on the either side to balance it? So it is 16 1/12 pieces, what we say, for your convenience to understand. 12 pieces are taken on one side of the pen, 16, and oxygen, and that balance was same. So C12 atom, 1/12 part of C12 atom is taken as standard to find the atomic mass unit. Understood this part? So here I think this part is clear, and 1 AMU by experimental method it was found out is equal to this much. Understood or not? So this is the part what we are talking about, atomic mass unit. And by taking C12 atom, 1/12 of the C12 atom as a standard, the all atomic mass in the periodic table was being found out. Okay, and we got most of the mass as a whole number only. Is it clear? So this is the part what we are talking about, atomic mass, how atomic mass was found by taking C12 isotope as a standard, what we say, C12 isotope, but C12 also 1/12 part of C12 atom. Understood? So this definition you can write down for one atomic mass unit, and this can be asked for ESQ. What is the value? How much grams equal to 1 AMU? What is the word? AMU. But afterward, this was a very big, what we say, AMU. That AMU was changed, only we write U. Understood? Means suppose hydrogen. Hydrogen, if you want to write atomic mass, we know atomic mass of hydrogen is equal to 1. Right? So first it was written 1 AMU, but nowadays it is written as 1 U. U means what? What is the meaning of word U? Means unified mass. Which mass? U means unified mass. Understood? So now we don't write AMU next to the atomic mass, but we write only one letter, that is lowercase u we write for what we call instead of AMU. Understood? So these are the things what are given in your textbook about atomic mass. You can use atomic mass and find molecular mass. That is the next topic what we are going to discuss. Okay, I will be stopping this video just for a while, and then we will continue with the molecular mass. Okay, just a minute. Now one topic was left out before going to molecular mass, that is average atomic mass. Now average atomic mass is used for isotopes. What are they used for? Isotopes. Now what are isotopes? I think you must be knowing. Isotope means same what? Atomic number and different atomic mass are called isotopes. This you have studied in structure of atom chapter. You must have studied, or in lower classes you have studied what are isotopes. Okay. Now isotopes means what I said, same atomic number but different atomic mass, what we say. Okay. So here if you want to calculate the atomic mass of this type of isotope, so what you have to do? So there is one formula how to calculate, but first we'll see the definition. The average atomic mass of an element refer to the atomic masses of isotope of the element taking into account the abundance, means in naturally how much percentage it is available of the element's isotope. Means if I want to find the average atomic mass, see, average atomic mass of isotope, if you calculate, it will be what? Sum of what? Mass of what we call it as the mass of isotopes into percentage abundance of that element, what we say, right? Now if you see in your textbook for carbon C12, C13 and 14, percentage abundance is given. Understood or not? So mass of isotope you will take, multiply it with the percentage abundance, divide by 100. If you do, you will get what? Average atomic mass of that element. Now this you must have studied in 9th standard. If you remember, chlorine has two isotopes, Cl35 and Cl37. Understood? And the average, if you see now, the atomic mass of chlorine is what we said, 35.5 it was, if you remember. So both of these abundance are different, and based on that abundance, what to do? Mass of each isotope will be taken. Multiply it with the percentage. Suppose this is 25% and this is what we call it as 75%. So that percentage you have to write and divide by 100, you will get this 35.5. Now in your textbook, after that table 1 given in average atomic mass for carbon isotopes what are given, below that they have added this all. Right? So that percentage they have divided with 100, because percentage symbol, suppose if I write 23%, that is equal to 23 divided by 100. So that they have done for percentage abundance and calculated, and they have got the average atomic mass, what we said. Understood this part? Now we will be discussing about molecular mass. Which mass? Molecular mass. Okay. Now before going to molecular mass, we will discuss about gram atomic mass. Clear? Now what is atomic mass? That part is clear to you. Gram atomic mass means, gram atomic mass is the mass in grams in grams. This is important part. Mass in grams. Okay, that is we write atomic mass as 1U, 2U, 1U for what we call it as hydrogen. So that is converted into grams. That is a gram atomic mass is the mass in grams of 1 mole of atom in a monoatomic. Monoatomic means what? Single atom. What is the word? Single atom is called, in chemical elements, is called gram atomic mass. Now what is the meaning of this monoatomic? When I write hydrogen, it is monoatomic. But when hydrogen atom, if I write H2, then H2 here 2 is there, so this is called diatomic. What is this called? Diatomic. Understood this part? So monoatomic and diatomic. So in monoatomic part only we have to discuss about gram atomic mass. So now when we talk about hydrogen, we know hydrogen atomic mass is 1U. Now this unified mass, if I write it as 1 gram, that is equal to what? Gram atomic mass. Means the unified mass written in grams is called gram atomic mass. It's very simple to understand. Okay? Now molecular mass. Now here you can see molecular mass. Molecular mass of a molecule, weights refer to the mass of the molecule. It is calculated as the sum of the mass. Means molecular mass or molecular weight refers to what? The mass of a molecule. It is calculated by adding all the atomic mass of the constituent atom multiplied by the number of atom of that element in the molecular formula. Means what is the meaning of that? We will understand with an example. Now suppose you take an example of water. Right? So in water, how many hydrogen atoms? So we will write 2 into atomic mass of hydrogen plus, means adding, this 2 is multiplied, 2 multiplied by, understood or not? Plus 1, nothing is there, so 1 atom, don't write 0. 1 into atomic mass of oxygen, understood? So if you want to calculate, this is 2 into 1 plus 1 into 16, so which is equal to what? 80 U. U is the unit for molecular mass. Understood or not? Now gram molar mass, that also I will explain after this. So this part understood? So like this we have to add this all. Okay, and multiply the number of atoms here next to it. Understood this part? So this is the way how we find out what? Molecular mass. Okay, now the next part. Now here you can see gram molecular mass or gram molecule, what we say, right? So gram molecular mass, you can see the definition here, is the mass of the grams of 1 mole. Grams of 1 mole of molecular substance. Now mass of 1 moles of molecular substance. So here that 1 mole is not written, you can write down here, I will write an arrow here, 1 mole of a molecular substance. Now what is the meaning of that? That is H2O, if I write, its molecular mass. This represents what? This represents molecular mass. Understood? Now this molecular mass, if I write it in grams, then this represents what? Gram molecular mass. Gram molecular mass or gram molecule, what we call. Understood? That is very simple. Many things we have studied in this video, what we said. Now next topic, what is there in your textbook is about the mole concept. But before that, there is a problem 1.1. That is solved example for finding molecular mass of glucose is given. So you can do it in homework. By yourself, you can do it in homework. It is easy to find molecular mass of that. Then another one topic is given formula mass. Now formula mass, we can say it is found, what we say mostly, we say for ionic compounds. So in your book they have given an example of NaCl, but regarding that we will be studying in your further classes, that is in 12th in detail. Okay, just a minute. Now in your book formula mass was given. I will explain it, but one topic is there, empirical formula, that will come after 2-3 topics. So there I will explain this more in detail, but I will explain now. It is easy to understand. See, now what is the meaning of that? Formula mass of a molecule is the sum of atomic mass. It is like molecular mass only, but here we don't multiply that part. That is number of atoms we used to multiply, but not in this case. So it is the what you call formula mass is the molecule mass of molecule and is the sum of atomic weight of the atom in the empirical formula of the compound. Now what is empirical formula when we say? When we write glucose, glucose is C6H12O6. This is its molecular formula. Which formula? This is molecular formula. Understood? Now if you want to write the empirical formula for this, you can see what is common in this. 6 is common. So I can write C1, H6 and O1. 1 we don't write. Now this thing, what we do, we multiply it with 6. Sorry, here 2 will come. You will get this formula. Understood? But we are not going to multiply this. Means this one means we divided this formula. The formula we divided with what? 6. So we got which formula? C, H2 and O. So actually this is your empirical. What is the word? Empirical formula. Understood or not? So what is formula mass? It's a formula mass of a molecule is the sum of what we call it as atomic weights of the atom. This atomic weights, now if you count, that is now suppose carbon atomic mass is 12 plus 2 into what hydrogen is 1 plus what we call oxygen 16. So it is how much what we said? It will be 12 plus 2 plus 16, that is 14 plus 16, which is equal to 30. Understood or not? So 30 U what we call, that is your formula mass. Understood? But if you count of glucose if you count, it will be 180 U. How much glucose will be? 180 U. What is the word? Molecular mass. Understood? And this is formula mass, what we say. Understood? So this is the difference, but this empirical formula we are going to discuss in the few topics after this. Okay? So we will stop here. This is the end of our video. Next time we will be considering what we said, mole concept, but what I said, problem 1.1 from your textbook, solved example it is, you have to do it. Okay, so here we stop. Thank you very much, and next video we will be continuing with the next topics. Thank you.